It's November, and here in the Northern Hemisphere, that usually means colder weather, as my cozy hot water bottle will attest to. And colder weather usually means, or often means, that aches and pains can flare up, especially aches and pains around the neck, shoulders, and the upper back. So, today I wanted to talk to you about the biggest and most common mistake that we see people make when it comes to trying to help their neck and shoulders. Now, this mistake, best case scenario, just means that your improvement doesn't last as long as it could if you weren't making this mistake. Or, worst case scenario, your body could stop responding to the stretches and releases and things that used to work, or go into a painful spasm. So, in this video, I'll explain what this mistake is, why it means that you'll get shorter lived improvement, and what you should do instead. Plus, I have a free resource that will help you get started on addressing this mistake. So, hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Catherine. I'm the founder and principal therapist of LSM Clinic, a sport and remedial massage therapy clinic in East London. In this channel, I share information about how the body works and things that you can do to feel better, to hopefully help people get pain-free or as close to pain-free as possible. Now, if you enjoy this kind of content, I'd really appreciate if you could like this video as it helps more people see it. If you know anybody who might have neck and shoulder pain or be interested in this, if you could share it with them. And if you want to be notified when we release more videos, I send 3 emails a month with new videos, old videos, self-care stuff, stories that I only put in emails, and you can subscribe to the email below, or of course you can subscribe to the channel. Okay, so when you have pain or discomfort in your neck and shoulders, which is usually like the tops of the shoulders, the base of the neck, the back of the neck, between the shoulder blades, these are the most common places, right? What do you do? Like, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know. What do you do when you have these problems? So if you're like most people, you probably stretch or massage where it hurts. So you might stretch your neck from side to side, or like looking down like this. You might stretch looking down like this to get the back of the neck. You might bring your shoulders forward to try and stretch between the shoulder blades because, you know, that's where you're feeling the problem, right? You may even have one of those like knobbly massage balls, or those things that you kind of can like have a stick and a knob at the end to try and push on the knots in your back. You might go to a massage therapist and ask them to massage all of these painful, tight places. And this is the common mistake. No, not going to massage therapist, right? But focusing only on the tight and achy areas, only on the places that you feel it. So why is this a mistake? Because it seems logical, right? If it hurts and it's tight, like you can feel that it's tight, why would it make sense to only focus on those areas? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos or been to us in clinic, you know it's because often the place where the pain is not what's causing it. So what we always want to do is when you have pain, we want to look at why is it happening? What is the body responding to? Now, you may have heard posture before, right? And you might be thinking, oh gosh, like don't tell me that the tip is posture, because good posture is super uncomfortable. And it absolutely is uncomfortable. And I have another video about that, which I'll link in the description somewhere around here. But no, this is not about posture, although posture is important. So that's why I'll link that other video about why it's so uncomfortable. Although there is like a bit of stuff with posture, but that's not the mistake I'm going to talk about. But posture is involved, right? So it's not what I'm going to tell you to do. It's not the mistake that you make, but posture is a factor in why this is something that you need to think about. So the truth is, if you are rounded forward, like almost everybody is, right? Almost nobody has like perfect ideal posture. Your body will feel that you're out of balance, right? So your body wants your head to be over your shoulder blades in a particular position on your back, and your spine in its natural curve, which is not Hunchback of Notre Dame style, right? It's not like this. But we are almost trained into that position from like 12 or 13 years old. Like you'll see that's when I think kids often start hunching. You get tall, you maybe feel depressed. Like there's so many reasons why we end up in this position. Now, I do not believe that sitting in front of a computer or looking at a phone is the devil, right? The real problem is more lack of variety in our movements and that we're not doing different things, and that's a topic for another time. But what happens is when we hold any posture for an extended period of time, like normal, like this is our normal state of being, our body adapts to that position. Over a long period of time, if you're hunched forward, if your head is forward, the muscles in the front and the side of the body will become short and pulled forward. And they can kind of be like resistance bands. So imagine if you pasted or attached some resistance bands across the top of your shoulders and kind of here and here, and maybe here, which is pec minor, which we'll talk about next video. So those resistance bands are pulling your shoulders forward and pulling your shoulders down, right? To stop yourself from falling forward anymore, the back of the body has to constantly be engaged to stop that pulling forward, or to try and stop you from being pulled forward more. So that's why the muscles on the top of the shoulders, the neck, and between the shoulder blades get achy. So they're in this position, they're being pulled forward, they're working really hard, right? So when you stretch or massage these tight muscles, well, when you stretch or massage any tight muscle, that muscle becomes looser and provides less pull on your bones, right? So that's why sometimes when we do certain releases with people, their body feels lighter because we've reduced the amount of resistance they feel. They have less of a pull on their bones from the tension in the muscle. So when you release muscle / tissue, let's say some fascia, the pull on the bones becomes less and they're looser, right? So they'll get longer, or they have the ability to be longer. But the body wants to be in a certain alignment. And I will talk about the whole alignment thing and why the body wants to be in a certain alignment in another video. So, that will come at some point. So when you release these muscles that are tight, yes, you feel better because you've reduced some of the tension in those muscles. And that tension, that muscle contraction, was causing you some pain and discomfort. But you have made the imbalance in your body worse because the relaxed muscles in the back of the body are very quickly going to feel they're still being pulled on by the tight muscles in the neck and the tight muscles in the chest and the tight muscles in the side that attach to the front. And they're going to be like, oh, we can't relax because we're still being pulled forward and we want to be in this position. We don't want to keep being pulled forward. Now, if you've ever had this happen, so this happens sometimes, we've seen it with clients, and it's one of the ways that I realized how important working on the cause of the muscle is. Muscles will actually stop releasing in a stretch or a massage if you are consistently not getting to the bottom of the problem. So if you've ever had like a stretch that was your go-to stretch for any muscle because you have tight hamstrings or you have tight top of your shoulders or tight quads or whatever, and you notice that the stretching is not as effective as it used to be, you notice that you used to always get a massage on like your back or your shoulders and they used to feel relaxed for like a few days, and now you get a massage on the shoulders and they don't feel relaxed at all, that's because of this reason. You're releasing the response to the problem, but you're not dealing with the underlying cause of the problem. And the body eventually kind of catches on and goes, well, no, this problem is still here. So it resists the stretch. So that's the mistake. Ignoring the front and some of the side muscles, or treating them as some sort of afterthought. Like I have had clients who they're like, oh yeah, I stretch my chest. And they do like a tiny, tiny bit of chest stretching or lat stretching or releasing here or working on this. And then all of their release in the back. Like 90% of it. Now, if this is what's causing this, releasing this loads and not releasing this at all, or only releasing this like a tiny bit, is also not going to help. So you will never, and I can say this having worked with clients since 2008, okay, as a massage therapist, you will never get the long-term sustained relief for your neck and shoulder pain if you are not addressing the imbalance that's causing it. If you are not addressing the front and the sides of the body, which is like almost all the time, like there's some exceptions, there's always exceptions to this stuff, but it's almost always the front and sides of the body that is creating this imbalance that's making these work harder. So you will never get the improvement that is possible for you if you do not address the front and the sides of the body, the part of the body that is pulling you out of alignment. So what do you do? What's the solution? I'm going to start you with a simple tip and a free resource that you can start incorporating in your life that will just take like 20 to 30 seconds of your time, and it will go a long way. Like, you'd be surprised at how effective it is. But before I get into that, I just want to say, if this is something that you really want to dive into, you really want to understand the imbalance thing, you really want to understand all the muscles involved, you really want to understand the stretches and exercises, and like have a step-by-step formula for like figuring out how to fit all your self-care in 5 to 10 minutes a day for your neck and shoulder pain guide, I do have a neck and shoulder pain guide that is available on Amazon, and like it's everything that I tell clients in like this $10 book, right? So the link for the UK and the US version will be below because that's where most of the people who watch this video is, but you can also just go to your Amazon and search the title. So that'll be in the description. Now for the tip. If the number one mistake they make for neck and shoulder pain is ignoring the front and sides of the body, what should you do? Well, the simple answer is stretch your pecs, right? Again, you can get really detailed into this, but like when I'm sharing this, I'm trying to give you the thing that's going to make the most difference and going to give you the biggest impact with the least amount of effort. So next week, I will be releasing a video that goes into depth about pec major and pec minor and how they're so important for upper body, like a little bit more detailed and anatomical information, which might be just a little bit geeky when it comes to anatomy. But today, let's just focus on the stretch. Because we've already talked enough. So there are two ways that you can stretch your pecs. There are two ways that you can open the front of the body, these muscles in particular. One, and this is not the quick tip, this is a longer tip, but you can do what's called a long hold cactus stretch. And at the end of the day, when you're about to go to bed, you can lay flat on the floor or on your bed. You put your arms in a cactus position, so it's like 90 degrees like this. And then you lay back and you want to hold that for like 5 or 10 minutes. This should feel like almost nothing, right? Because it's a long hold stretch. If you feel any pain or discomfort, put some cushions under your arms so that they're not totally flat. I do not recommend using a foam roller because a lot of people will use a foam roller to stretch their chest, but that's like a massive stretch. And, you know, if you remember that you're normally like this, just being flat is enough of a stretch for your body to start with, right? If you don't have really good posture, doing like a massive stretch is going to be detrimental. And I do have a whole set of theories that we apply for stretching and like what I've learned working with clients and perfecting like how can you stretch most effectively. I have a whole playlist for that. I will put that in the description. So you can do the cactus stretch in the evening, 2 to 3 days a week for 5 to 10 minutes. I don't recommend every day because you do want to give your muscles some time to integrate and, get used to whatever the thing is that you did the day before, right, with a long hold stretch. But here's the 20 to 30 second stretch. If your neck and shoulders are bothering you at your desk or in the middle of the day, first stretch should be the door frame stretch, not the back of the body, not the neck. So like if your neck is bothering you, don't stretch your neck first. Do this door frame stretch first. And then if you want to do a little stretch for your neck, you can. But this is your go-to stretch, and then see how much difference it makes. Now, I'm not going to go through it today, like in this video in detail, because that's my free resource for you, okay? Before you're like, oh, you said you were going to show me in the video. So I have a desk posture workshop. It's 30 minutes. It's totally free. You sign up, you get the link emailed with the workshop. Not only does it show you how to go through the the stretch, step by step, how to test before and after to make sure that you can feel the difference, how to do it, and how to kind of what you should be focusing on and what you should be feeling. It also goes into a lot of detail about how you can make your posture better. So it kind of has both of those things, because if your posture is better, then you have less neck and shoulder pain. If you do the chest stretch, it's easier for your posture to be better. If you do the chest stretch, you have less pull on your neck and shoulders. So it works really well together. So that is going to be in the description. I'll put that as the first link in my list of links, the Desk Worker Workshop. But basically, when we give this stretch to people, so we do a free posture clinic once a month, and so basically people come in, they have neck and shoulder pain. We show them this stretch, and this is all we do because there's no massage. We show them this stretch, and immediately they feel 30 to 70% better in their neck rotation or the top of the shoulders or between the shoulder blades. This stretch is really, really fantastic because you are not making the mistake of ignoring the front of your body, right? So if you download it, it will be in your email. You'll always have access to the link. You can revisit it whenever you want, very easily. So I recommend that you get that and try it so that you can stop making this the biggest mistake that we see people make with their neck and shoulders. Just to quickly sum up, the mistake when you have neck and shoulder pain and pain in between your shoulder blades and back of the neck and all of this, and all you do is release where you feel the pain, and you're not addressing the cause of the pain, it's eventually going to get worse, right? That's the mistake. The solution is to start incorporating these really easy stretches for the front of the body that kind of counterbalance this that we're doing all day. One is the cactus stretch, which I mentioned a little while ago. I'll timestamp these. So I'll timestamp the cactus stretch and the explanation of why we do the door frame stretch. And the door frame stretch, which I'm giving to you as a free resource that you can have. This is a 30-minute workshop. That's the solution. Or that's the start of the solution anyway. And again, my neck and shoulder pain guide. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Feel free to leave any comments with questions, or if you'd like clarification on anything. And if you know anybody who is complaining about their shoulders or neck, please share this video with them. I would love to see us get rid of neck and shoulder pain if possible, because so much of it is unnecessary. And of course, as always, like and subscribe so that this can get to more people. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video.